So here's Joe's mini crawfish. I'm going to show you the sizes here. I'll show you what the wet version looks like. That's the one I'm fishing today. That's the number 8, and I'm tight lining that on my TNT Contact 2 rod by Thomas & Thomas. So, okay, number 6, very heavy diameter hook, great for larger trout or swift currents when you need something to really get down. Total length on that from the head to the hook shank is about 1 inch. The number 8, which is the one I'm fishing primarily today, is about 3/4 of an inch from the head to the hook shank, and then the little guy is just about 1/2 to 5/8 of an inch. That's the number 10. The biggest determining factor in which of these patterns that I'm going to fish is going to be the weight. If it's swift current, I'm having a hard time making contact, or it's deeper, I need to get down, I'm running the 6. If I get snaggy, I'm just gonna downsize primarily in weight to these other flies, and they all have a very good quality. I'm not sure the make of the hook, but they have a good quality hook, so they'll handle any trout you put on there. That hook is definitely worthy of it, and it is extremely sharp. So there's the various sizes. Oh, that was awesome. I didn't get the hook up on video, and I really wish I had, because I was just working that. I'm using the number 8, and I was just working that craw right across the bottom, just kind of touching and going and touching and going. In fact, it was like a little give and go type move. I would touch the bottom, and then I would kick it up, and I would touch the bottom, and I would kick it up. And finally that guy just hammered that thing, just working right across the gravel. It's pretty cold. It's a nice day, but the water's pretty cold. This fish is a little lethargic to start, but I'm telling you what, right now, I've got this line running over my hand right here just to add a little bit more drag. That fish is getting stronger and stronger the longer I'm fighting him. He's starting to get really frustrated. Let me try to winch him in here. I'm glad I'm on a fly with a pretty heavy wire hook, because that's pretty good current. Oh, that's so awesome. I love it. Oh, he's hooked right in the upper lip. Just perfect hookup. I love that. It doesn't really do as much damage to fish when you hook them in the upper lip. That's one huge advantage from a conservation standpoint to these jig head style hooks, is it hooks them in that upper jaw rather than the tongue or the corner of the mouth, where things can get a little bit messy. Oh, that's a slab. Oh. This is when you need a fishing partner. Oh, that's a honk. On the mini cray. Oh, that's a dandy fish. Beautiful trout on that mini crayfish, worked right along the gravel. I'm gonna let him go. And it's not named after me. It's actually tied by Joe Goodspeed, the rod designer that did this Contact 2 rod that's here in my hands. Oh, there's a fish right there. That's a pretty nice one. Awesome. That's so cool. I love getting that hook up on video. I've had to get a little creative with my fly patterns out here in front of the shop. You can see the shop right there behind me. This crayfish is just the ticket for this kind of this warm winter slash kind of this warm winter day. The illusion that you create with that thing when you're tight lining it, you could fish this fly on a sink tip and all that as well. But the illusion you create when you're tight lining is that crayfish coming right out of the rocks. And so like that one is very common. It ate it right when that crayfish was lifting up out of the rocks. And for those that haven't been here before, that's Red's Fly Shop right there in the background. Oh, sweet. Oh man, that's not a real big fish, but that is a healthy trout. It's probably because it's been eating crayfish, for crying out loud. I love that. Oh, it's always interesting landing these things on a rod that's 10 foot 9 inches. I get a little line back out. All right, so there he is, hooked on that number 8 mini crayfish. It's called Joe's Mini Crayfish, which is why I love this pattern so much. This is named after me. No, it's not named after me. Named after another guy, a guy named Joe Goodspeed, but I love that pattern. I'm gonna bring it in here and I'm gonna hit the bottom and I'm gonna give it a firm lead. And then I'm gonna go back to the bottom. Oh man, I think that was the same fish, bit it again. All right, I'm gonna get him this time. Whether it's on my crayfish, which is set up as my anchor fly, or the little Frenchie I got on there, I'm getting them on one or the other. I'm just gonna do a traditional nymph drift. And I would just say, when I say traditional nymph drift, I'm not really gonna pull a real, there he is. That was perfect timing, because that's exactly what I was gonna teach next. I rode the bottom more traditionally right there, and then right down here about 45 degrees, I just let that thing pick up, and those fish see that crayfish on the bottom, and if that thing flares up right in front of them and you know there's a fish there, they just can't stand it. Nice, not a bad trout. I'll take it, man. I'll take it all day long, a trout like that. Not a great big one, but the mini crawfish strikes again. And it seems like this fly, when it breaks free of contact to the bottom, that's when I tend to get them. So I'm a little bit more active on my leading. So there's the crayfish. I'm setting that up as my anchor fly. Oh, about 12 to 16 inches above it, I've just got a little Egan's Frenchie tied off there, running 4X right down to here. 4X seems to be about the right size tippet. Maybe if I was fishing for, 8-pound browns, I'm gonna beef it up to 2X, but for this, 4X worked good, cuts to the bottom. I'm just really pretty stoked on this fly. I'm always looking for new ideas, and they knocked it out of the park with that fly right there. Love it when I find a new fly. I got put onto this fly by somebody else. It was a hot tip, I'm not gonna lie to you. And this is the first day I fished this thing. And dude, I'm gonna keep giving up all the secrets and all the best flies I can find until my fishing starts to get really bad. But until that point, I'm sharing it. This is a little nicer trout. On that mini craw again. So yeah, there's that number 8 mini craw. Nice fish, 14, 15 incher, fat, and it just seems like the quality of the fish that sucks up that crawdad pattern is just a little cut above. I might be imagining things, but that's what it feels like. Okay, so this is no joke. Very next cast, I go, hey, that worked pretty good. And I was kind of cross-leading it like that, like I was explaining on that last fish. I got to make sure nobody sees me here. Secret spot. Not exactly, but anyway, I was like cross-leading it, bringing it down and across, and man, another dandy just picked it up. I mean, this fish is almost as big as that last one. All right, so here's the fish on the very next cast on that mini cray. My hands are freezing. I'm going back to the fly shop. My job here is done.